Greetings. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Dr. Tanya White Johnson coming to you again from the Sunshine State, from beautiful Florida. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope it was beautiful, and I do hope that you took some time for you today. I hope that you did something this morning or will do something this evening for you so that you can relax and de-stress yourself. So today's chat is about entrepreneurship. Many of my clients ask me why, why I chose to become an entrepreneur. How could I leave a job where I was making good money and stable money at least, and security. I would get paid every week or every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it was that I chose. How could I leave a job, a promising job in a promising career for entrepreneurship? And they constantly ask me this question, and for me it was a calling. For me, it was an opportunity to leave my footprints in the sand. But I was in a writing mood today, writing mode rather, and I decided to blog about it and share it with my blog groups. And I thought, well, you know what? Why don't I share it to those who may not want to actually read it, but maybe you want to take some time and listen to my entrepreneurship story and my experiences and what I've gone through. So that's what we're going to talk about today is entrepreneurship. Where are you? I do want to ask the question, where are you on that scale when it comes to entrepreneurship? It's not for everyone. I will absolutely agree with that, that it's not for everyone. But I think that fear, fear controls a lot of us. Fear stops us from taking that opportunity when we really could do something along those lines and really leave our footprints in the sand and fear kind of stops us. So entrepreneurship for many people has become the dreaded 16 letter word. And I understand all of the reasons that people will give you for not delving into this particular area of economics. But I also understand that you learn so much about yourself when you delve into entrepreneurship. So I really do suggest to everyone, I do suggest to everyone to at least put your hand out there, at least try it. So this 16 letter word has so much power, and but yet it projects so much fear in all of us. It is a dreaded word for some, and for some of us it is a liberating journey. And for me, it has been and still is a liberating journey. Yes, I cannot lie. It is challenging. It definitely gets tough sometimes. There are days when you feel like you're on your last leg of hope. And then there are days when you're gliding on the clouds. So it's like it's an emotional roller coaster. I definitely can agree with that statement. But there are varying cycles of emotion that comes with entrepreneurship, and I can tell you that I wouldn't trade it for the world. Sometimes I do have to remind myself of my faith. Like today was one of those days, which is what prompted me to write about it. When you're wondering where your next pay is going to come. You have ventures, you have things going on, but you have to pay the bills and you're wondering where that money is going to come from. I do have to remind myself of the hope that I have and who I belong to. And understanding that God is not going to allow me to fail as long as I am putting forth an effort. So when you have that faith, I think it makes all the difference. My entrepreneurship journey started a little bit more than 2 years ago, and I had enjoyed more than 13 years in corporate America in the hospitality industry, and I had 9+ years in academia when I decided that it was time to plunge into the deep waters of entrepreneurship. At that point in time, I was completing my first year as an associate dean of online learning for a local university. It was definitely a dream job for me. I was quickly progressing towards my ultimate dream of becoming a university president. And just like that, my heart began to change. And while I certainly felt like I was making a difference in the world of education, I felt like my heritage, my legacy, my footprints in the sand were calling me. I knew that I was born to do more, to be more, and to impact the world in a different way. I was never good with the status quo. I was never one to blindly accept what someone said. I was a born leader. Innately, I was a leader. This leadership ability had been proven in every administrative and management position that I'd held up to that point. And looking back, if there was only one thing that I wish I had done just a little bit differently, I would say that I wish I had prepared myself a little more financially before I took the leap. But even with saying that, and hindsight is 2020, I still don't know if I would have ever really felt prepared for the leap. I don't know if you ever feel prepared for entrepreneurship. I don't know if you ever feel prepared for stepping out on faith and stepping out on your own. But here's what I do know. I know that everything happens the way that it should, and that there is a purpose for all things under the sun. And even my not being financially prepared happened perfectly for me. So let's talk a little bit about entrepreneurship. Here's how I define entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is when you step out on your own, completely trusting in your faith and your own abilities to bring in an income. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not working for someone, because we're always going to work for someone. Perhaps not in the conventional 9 to 5 sense, but someone will always be demanding something from us. You may be a contractor. For example, one of my jobs is as an online professor for a couple of universities. I work on a contracted basis, but there are timelines and schedules that I have to keep up with. And keep in mind, you're always working for your customers. Customers are very demanding, and rightly so. As a consumer myself, when I spend my money, I expect to receive the value of that money. I also own an online fashion boutique for women, Exclusively You Fashions. I'm also a career coach. I'm the founder of Exclusively You Career Management. Yes, that was a shameless plug. But the truth is, here's the point. The point is, you're always working for someone, and I am always working hard for my clients and for my customers. Here's the kicker though. Entrepreneurship means that you are the creator, the marketer, and promoter of your business or businesses. Whether you succeed or fail is truly in your hands. When we work for a company, we leave the overarching responsibility of profitability and success to the CEO, the owners, the corporate office. They make the decisions that will affect the bottom line for the corporation. When you are an entrepreneur, you are all of those things. You are the CEO, you're the owner, you are the corporate office. Your everyday decision affects your own bottom line. I guess that's probably why it could be a bit scary. I do get that. So why do we do it? Why do some of us that leap? And why should you take that leap? It's definitely an individual decision. And again, like I said earlier, it is most certainly not for everyone. It's not something that should be done lightly or on a whim, but I still say that it's worth trying. The experiences and lessons learned on this journey are more powerful than you can ever imagine. If you're a student of life, as I am, this is one of the greatest lessons to be learned. Through this journey, I learned so much about myself. I found strengths and weaknesses that had not yet been discovered, even through all of my experience up to this date, even with working on my doctorate. I found strengths in entrepreneurship that I have not used. I found weaknesses that I did not know were there. I found lost courage and determination like no other. I've even found a resoluteness that has evolved and continues to grow. There is a determination in me that will not fail. I will not give up. I will not quit. I mean, we've heard the old adage that quitters never win and winners never quit. Yeah, I get that. But that is something that's like etched down in my soul right now, that I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be a failure. I'm not going to go back to a job because I failed. So this is it. It's a make it or break it. This has got to work for me. I think it may be different for some, but I think for most, in many ways, that there are the same pros and cons of entrepreneurship. So here's my list of pros. First of all, um, it's a good thing because I am self-employed, which means that I work for myself. No one dictates to me. I don't have to clock in. I don't have to clock out. I am self-employed. My income depends on how much effort I put into my business. So obviously, being self-employed, my time is my own. Um, if I want to work till 3 o'clock in the morning, I can work till 3 o'clock in the morning. If I don't want to do any work all day long, I don't have to do any work all day long. If I want to work 24 hours, I can do that as well. It really depends on how successful I want to be. So my success, again, is completely dependent upon my actions, no one else. I can't get fired. I can't, some days I want to fire myself. My husband is also an entrepreneur, and I'm his business manager for his computer repair business and his new invention. And some days I tell him that I'm firing myself. So, yeah, some days I do want to fire myself. Now, there are cons, obviously, and the cons are pretty much the same as the pros. The first one is that I work for myself. So no one tells me what to do, I don't have a guidebook. I don't have a guidebook to tell me how to make my business successful. Yeah, there are resources out there, but I'm completely responsible for making my company successful. I don't have a job description. I have to write the job descriptions. So, it's not as easy as going into a job and someone giving you a manual or telling you what to do, and now you have to do it. As an entrepreneur, you have to figure it out for yourself. Again, a con is that my income depends on how much effort I put into the business. So, like I said earlier, if I want to take the day off, sure, absolutely. I could go to the beach every single day. Being here in Florida, I can do that. I don't have to work at all. But of course, there will be no check on Friday if I don't work. So that's certainly a con. You know how on your jobs that you can take a 2 or 3 week vacation. Yeah, no, not here. I think that's one of the cons too, that you rarely, very rarely get a vacation when you're first starting out with your business. You realize that your time is money. You realize that every minute of the day is valuable. So there are long days and there are longer nights. This certainly can be a lonely journey. If you're not around people who are entrepreneur minded, they really don't get what's going on with you. They really don't get that you can't, sit on the phone anymore during lunchtime or all day or after they get off from work, that you are still working. They don't get that. It's 5 o'clock. You should be able to talk to me. At 6 o'clock, you should be able to talk to me. But my days are very, very long. I get up early in the morning and I go to bed very late in the morning. Um, and of course, because of this, you're going to lose fickle friendships and you're going to lose fickle relationships. So if people don't get you, if they don't understand where you're coming from, you're certainly going to lose those people. And what I found in entrepreneurship, and I really do wish it were different, it's hard to find colleagues that are doing the exact same thing, that are willing to support you and be there for you. And I think, I don't think it's intentional at all. I don't think there's anything malicious there. I think that we're all just so busy. We're all so busy. We don't have time to, be encouraging each other and helping each other out, which would be my ideal thing. I try to support my friends and people that I see that are grinding and hustling and trying to make it. I try to support them as much as possible. But yeah, it can be a very lonely journey. So some of my clients, when I'm sharing this information with them, some of them will say, well, what are the quality and traits of an entrepreneur? Or how do you know when you're ready to step out there? How do you know that you can be an entrepreneur? And so I think that these traits that I'm going to share with you, I think they probably will evolve over time and with more experience for me, but I think they're probably the basics and the foundation um, entrepreneur traits that everyone will probably share with you. I think one of the first things you have to have is confidence in your ability. I think you have to certainly know that you're capable of doing whatever you put your hand to do, whatever you put your mind to do. You have to be confident in yourself. If you're not confident, because typically when you're an entrepreneur, you're not even selling a product or a service, you are selling yourself. So if you are not confident in your own abilities, you will never be able to sell yourself. You have to have determination to win and not let failure deter you. You are going to fail more times than you win. I can promise you that. Your first few webinars, your first few podcasts, your first few advertisements, your first few whatever it is that you're trying to do in your business, it's not going to be great. I am still learning this whole podcast thing. I am enjoying it, but I am still learning it. I'm still trying to figure out my music and figure out, what's the magic number? How long are people actually going to listen to you? And what do people want to hear about? And, how does it lead back to my coaching packages? How does it lead back to what I really get paid to do? But the great thing is that because I love sharing information, it's like, this is great. I enjoy this. Can I just get paid to do this? Can I get paid to share great information? So I mean, ultimately, that's what I do in my coaching, but you know what I mean. So you're always searching, you're always trying to learn, you're always trying to figure it out. So everything is so not going to be perfect. Don't even look for perfection. That shouldn't even be something that's on your mind, that everything has to be perfect, because we learn so much as we fall and as we get back up. You must have, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, but I think you have to have relentless faith. And when I say faith, I'm referring to our faith in, for me, is God. Faith in God. Faith knowing that He's got my back, knowing that He's not going to let me fail. I think that's why so many of us sometimes we just give up, because we don't have a hope in anything. My faith has kept me going. I know it's only been 2 years, but my faith has certainly kept me going through so many things in my life. And I've spoken to many other entrepreneurs and people who have their own business, and without their faith, they would have given up on more than just their business. So I know for a fact that having faith in God, having faith that He's got your back, that He's going to be there for you, that He's never going to leave you, just like He said in His word. Having that faith can keep you moving towards success. The other thing I would say that qualifications and traits and skills that entrepreneurs should have. You should be research driven. You should be willing to research, because you're going to have to research. You're going to have to learn as much as possible about your market, about your industry, about the things that you're putting out there on the market. You should also be willing to try until you succeed. No matter how many times you fail, you should be willing to get up. I think that those are the foundational traits that will make a great entrepreneur. So if you find that you have those traits, that you can check those off, then you're certainly in the game. And I would say absolutely think hard about it and just make it happen. If I had to offer any suggestions to budding entrepreneurs, I would suggest that first, you prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Take some time to prepare yourself for this journey because it is indeed a journey. It does not happen overnight. Don't think about those, some of those great things that have happened to some people where it looked like overnight success. Trust me, it was not overnight. Do your research in the market you're interested in pursuing. Do your research on entrepreneurs who are successful as well as those who have failed. Ask lots and lots and lots and lots of questions. Prepare yourself mentally for the journey and don't expect an easy payday, which is essentially what we're saying here. As much as possible, save money for the first year out. Pretend you will be out of work for the first year and save enough to cover you. However, I feel like that this can also backfire on you. I think not having enough money kind of kicks you into third gear. I know it does for me. So because I didn't have that year savings, I had to work extra hard and bust my butt, and I'm continuing to work extra hard and do what I need to do to make my businesses successful. Um, the second suggestion I would have is don't procrastinate. Many people will say, well, I'm saving money. Yes, I want to do it. And typically, no. When you're kind of going through all of those changes, you really don't want to do it. You're kind of using it as an excuse at this time. So I say prepare yourself, but don't procrastinate. Fear is operating when you're just waiting for that perfect time because there really is no perfect time. Entrepreneurship is risky. There's no doubt about it. If there was a perfect time, it would be called something else. It would be called entrepreneurship. So understand that you will never feel completely prepared, and that's okay. That really is that emotion where you feel this uncertainty is actually what keeps you grinding. It's what drives you. The third thing I would suggest is be willing to ask questions. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Oh my God, with technology today, there is somebody out there that's already tried to do what you're trying to do. So if you know there's somebody out there, then just ask questions. Google is a great resource. Use it often. People are great resources. Never underestimate their experiences. Keep in mind that you can actually learn the most from those who failed. They can certainly tell you what not to do. And the fourth thing I like to share with you is never envy your seemingly successful colleagues. If other people in your industry or around you or in your Facebook groups or on your Facebook page or friends or colleagues or whatever they may be to you, if they seem to be doing well, that's awesome. Encourage them, congratulate them. Stop taking the time to watch others because it actually stops your progress when you're sitting there going through their Facebook pages and looking at them and thinking, "Oh wow, they're doing so well and I'm not doing well at all." You're wasting time. Time is money. Time is valuable. Always, always, always support your colleagues and help as many as you can. You never know when that hand will be coming back to you. You never know when that person that you helped, that you shared their information, or you supported them in some way, you coached them in some way, how they can come back one day and lend a helping hand to you. And finally, I say to those of you who are interested in entrepreneurship or presently in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. And yeah, it's stressful. Yeah, it gets crazy, but it is also so beautiful when you see the works of your hands and you're doing something and you're leaving footprints in the sand. You are leaving a legacy. Your children can say, oh my God, I know that I can do this. I can be an inventor. I can be a business owner. I can do anything I put my mind to. Why? Because my mom, my dad, somebody in my family showed me the way. So enjoy the journey because it's a story waiting to be told. Thank you guys so much. I was under 30 minutes, so I am super, super, super excited about that. Don't forget to go to my website, www.tanyawhitejohnson.com. If you're ever in need of career coaching, if you're ever in need of personal development coaching, leadership development coaching, I also have an online career development class that I teach virtually. So it's a great opportunity to learn everything from resumes to application letters to an actual Skype interview with me. So we're just here for your career management needs. So take a look and see if there's anything that we can help you with, or if you know of anyone that I can help. So thank you all so much for listening. Take care of you. God bless you. And hey, don't forget to embrace your greatness. Good night.